really grateful that Paul's joined us and has volunteered to be the first in this series of conversations with people who are in the public affairs specialty within clean energy. So Paul, thanks and welcome.
Thanks, Mike. Great to be here.
Good.
Happy to be a guinea pig.
Good. Well, what's your sense of the sector's uptake on these tools?
We are still learning how best to use them. And obviously, every project community is a little bit different in the way the community itself uses these tools. And so I think any responsible developer has to look carefully at how the community is best going to respond or listen to the important stories that I think that wind project developers have to tell. And I think it depends on the tool, but I think ultimately a developer still has to do good grassroots organizing work, whether that manifests itself in digital tools or in more public meetings or in print media. We still have to do the work to identify and engage champions of the project who can speak to the success of projects that they bring to the community and find those voices that resonate within that community.
Was there anything in the analysis that you found surprising from either the standpoint of your own company or for the sector in general?
I think it was revealing to me that every company is still trying to figure out the best way forward. And I think that's useful, that there's no obvious silver bullet. There's no obvious, oh, company so-and-so is doing it this way, and look, all of their projects are getting successfully permitted and built.
The early view of digital tools, particularly in the clean energy sectors, were one of that it's really just a form of cheap distribution. The evangelists for digital tools say very consistently that the way you properly use them is a much more involved engagement. So you're not hitting the send button only, you're hitting the send button and you're hitting the receive button, so to speak.
It's a 24/7 public meeting.
Well put. How do you see that reality being made an asset by our industry in the years ahead?
I think there's a real opportunity to do that. I think we know it takes a lot of effort. We know it takes a lot of time. We know it's an ongoing conversation. It's not, as you put it, just hitting send. I think what we experience, and I suspect what other developers are experiencing, mirrors the social media conversation writ large. We know it can be very toxic. We know it has the potential to devolve into mudslinging and name calling. We know there's a lot of information out there that's not grounded in science or basic understanding of how weather works or how energy works or how electricity reaches people's homes. And so it can certainly be a grind to try to engage on a nonstop basis with a lot of misinformation, with a lot of bad actors. And I think it's easy to run into those types of challenges and bang your head against a wall and write off the tool as something that is not reaching potential supporters, as not reaching people who are legitimately on the fence and curious about projects. And so the challenge remains, how do you even in these new tools, even in these new spaces, how do you identify people who are really curious, who are interested in the information that we have to share? Because we know the science is on our side. We know we have positive stories to share. We know we have people in the community who want to learn more and hear about how projects are going to benefit from the community.